Why are you on this planet? Why are you living what you're doing here? Things that they did not tell you when you went to school, when you took your history class. They didn't tell you the great things about African Americans and what African Americans and what they've contributed to society and to this world. And so I believe that if we had been told these things at an early age, there wouldn't be so much violence, there wouldn't be so much corruption, there wouldn't be so much disdain and division, because we would then realize who we are and who God made us. We need to know who we are. We need to know where we came from. We wouldn't fight each other. We wouldn't kill each other because you're looking at another king and another queen. You wouldn't treat your woman the way you treat them if you knew who you were and if you knew who they were. Again, it's impossible to do anything unless you know who you are. Called L.R. Johnson. He created the bicycle frame. A.J. Beard created the rotary engine. You know the cars you drive around with? It was all derived from that.
It ain't over, motherfuckers.
Alright, babe, I'm leaving.
Leaving? Where you going?
I have a gig down at the lounge.
Gig? You still living on that fantasy? Come on now.
Fantasy? What fantasy? I want to sing.
Yo, McDonald's is hiring. You need a real job.
You
It's time
better
to
take
check
your
yourself.
butt down to McDonald's. I'm
I
not
got a
working
job.
there.
I got a job. Check yourself.
Look, I don't think so. I will sing
Hey,
and
look,
you
I'm
will
tired.
work at
Hey,
McDonald's.
you know the options. It's either get a job or I'm out the door.
Not if I leave first.
Whoa.
Hello everyone, I am the Reverend Point Blank, as you well know. I've spoke about it many times about why are you on this planet? Why are you living what you're doing here? And it is quite impossible to know that unless you know who you are. Unless you know where you came from, unless you know your lineage, unless you know your history, unless you know the foundation of where you came from. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some people who are in your lineage and mine. Things that they did not tell you when you went to school, when you took your history class. They didn't tell you the great things about African Americans and what African Americans and what they've contributed to society and to this world. And so I believe that if we had been told these things at an early age, there wouldn't be so much violence, there wouldn't be so much corruption, there wouldn't be so much disdain and division, because we would then realize who we are and who God made us to be. So I'm going to give you a few references of a few people that I basically studied on in many years of studying. There's so many more. I can't get into all of them, but we will talk about them in just a moment. So think about the things that you use around the house. Think about the cars. Think about the electricity. They say Edison invented electricity. No, Edison made a filler that was made of paper. There was a black man that made the carbon filler. So We need to know who we are. We need to know where we came from. We wouldn't fight each other. We wouldn't kill each other because you're looking at another king and another queen. You wouldn't treat your woman the way you treat them if you knew who you were and if you knew who they were. This is something that we need to come to clarity about because, again, it's impossible to do anything unless you know who you are. So let's get with it. Let's talk about one of the things. There was a man called L.R. Johnson. He created the bicycle frame. Oh yeah. The bicycle frame. We've been riding bikes for so long. They've got them all over Europe. It was created by a black man. That's right. Another individual. I mean, look, we ride bikes for exercise. We do it every day. Nobody recognizes who made the bike. They look at Swin. They look at all these Peugeot, whatever they are, and they say they made it. No, it was created by a black man. Do your history. Learn your history. Here's another one for you. I don't know if you know J.W. Smith. He created the lawn sprinkler. You know the thing that's in front of your yard that you water your lawn with? It was created by a black man. And these are things that must be understood. They don't teach you that. They teach you that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Well, Christopher Columbus ran up on a bunch of Indians and people who were already here. Well, he couldn't have discovered very much of any damn thing. He rolled up on somebody else's shit and he took it. Well, that's pretty much the history of it. I'll tell you someone else. And some of the other things that you use every day that you don't even know was created by a black man is another. Listen, A.J. Beard created the rotary engine. You know the cars you drive around with? It was all derived from that. A black man created that transportational resource that we use every day. Drive around in the snow, drive up in the hills and the mountains that was taken or stolen. Ford says that he created the first automobile. Yeah, well, maybe he created the first automobile, but couldn't run an automobile without an engine. So we really have to look at ourselves. We have to go, wake up in the morning, look inside the mirror and see exactly who we are. Because if you don't know that, again, you cannot bring a woman in your life, a man in your life. You cannot. Why are you picking a job? Why are you going chasing this? You'll be chasing things the rest of your life. And then if you're lucky, get old enough, you can't even have sex. You can't run, you can't jump. So you're miserable, sitting there thinking, why didn't I do what I should have done? And now you start to realize because you got time to think about it and you ain't doing nothing else. Let's move on. Another valuable resource that a black man created. MC Harvey created the lantern. Now, the lantern gave them light so that they could see. Now we got Edison and the light and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, but the lantern was created by a black man. Do your history. Again, you know, they don't teach you these things in school. They don't make it a part of the curriculum. They are not filling your head with it. They're filling your head with Jesus was white. How could Jesus be white over in Africa? They're teaching you that everything that is right is white. Snow White. You know what I mean? All these different things. The white Christmas, Santa Claus. Where's anything black? Oh, Black Monday, Black Friday, Black Ball. You understand? These are brainwashing words. It was illegal for a black man to read. And that is why they did not want you to know the truth. And I'm not saying that anything's wrong with it. You got a choice. You get to choose whether you want to study properly or you want to just listen to what they tell you. You can learn what you need to know, particularly now with the internet. All you got to do is Google that shit. I went to the doctor, had a hernia, and there was 4 or 5 doctors around me because, you know, I went to a couple of doctors. I didn't want to get cut. And all these doctors sitting around Googling a hernia. Now, you spent 12, 15 years in college and you don't know what a damn hernia is? I ain't letting a doctor cut me for nothing unless it's an emergency. And I'm sorry. So, not to divert from the conversation, but again, when you talk about medical, you talk about black people too. When you talk about hair care, you talk about a black woman, first black millionaire. You understand? That created hair products for black people. Madam C.J. Walker. I don't know if you knew that. You want to talk about Black History Month? This is not Black History Month. This is Black History. Every month of the year, there's something that we are using in our homes, even today, that was created by a black man. And we don't know it. If we knew that, we'd act a little differently about each other. So we need to get with it. I could continue and continue and continue and continue on and on and on about all of the things that a black man created. I'll give you a couple more just to satisfy your curiosity. O.E. Brown created the horseshoe. O.E. Brown created the horseshoe. If you don't know what a horseshoe is what the horses use to keep their feet from breaking off or hurting or damaging them. The horseshoe for the horses. That's amazing because this was way back when. And people still don't know it because, again, they hide that shit in books. If you want to hide something from a black man, just put it in a book. He'll never read anything. All right? So learn your history. That's what church is about. It's about knowing who you are, where you came from, what God gave you to do, what your gifts are, what your talent is. You can't know what to do unless you have any inclination or clue about what those things are. You have to know how to manage your feelings. This feel good, this look good, this sound good, this taste good, this smell good. You follow all 5 of those senses and you don't follow the 6th sense, which is common sense, what to do with the 5 you got, because you don't have a purpose. You don't have a direction. You don't have those things because you're chasing things. Things are attached to your feelings. Just bear with me a minute. I'm not trying to chastise you. I'm just trying to tell you like it is. I'm the Reverend Point Blank, and Point Blank is all I know. I know preachers all over the world that bullshit you, they cheat you, they lie, they steal. But they got a problem now with the COVID-19. They ain't been able to get no money because they don't have you there to con you out of the money in your pocket. Now you got 2 houses, 3 cars, you got a jet damn plane, and you got members can't pay their rent good, and they're giving you 10% of what they don't already have. Why don't you sit down, Pastor, and teach them how to manage their gifts? God says in your Bible that your gift will make room for you. But if you're not teaching them what their gift is, how is it going to make room for them? It's making room for you, for them not knowing, because they're giving you, for you thinking you knowing, because you wasn't called. You just went. You wasn't sent. You just went. You out for the money. I call you pimp in the pulpit. You all know who the hell you are. I don't really give a damn whether you like me or not. I'm going to die with the truth. So, in my words from the streets, fuck it. You know, I'm down for trying to help people. Do you realize what happened before there was any currency like cash, coins, and things like that? I fix your fence if you let me have some of that coin they keep stealing. Now, there was no money, so there was bartering. I will help you with this if you will help me with some of what you have. Well, if you don't know what you have, you will have nothing to barter with. So I'm saying that you find that out because it exists right now. It's going on right before your very eyes. You do it in relationships. You do it in business. Everyone is doing that. Currency is just a resource that comes and goes. So let's continue. I'm not trying to bore you. I'm just trying to educate you. Another powerful resource that we use today that you don't probably even think about. Yeah. J.R. Winters, he created the fire escape. I bet you didn't know that, did you? A black man created the fire escape. So, I mean, well, you know, I'm not even talking about the black man created the elevator because we had to carry things up the stairs. We're not even talking about, we're talking about the ironing board. We're not talking about the iron. We had to iron their clothes. You understand? All these things black people created because they wanted to make life easier for them at that time. But they didn't get no cash, nor did they get any credit. And right now, we just want to give ourselves credit for our ancestors creating all these things so that we can realize where the hell we came from. Now, damn, I ain't trying to preach out of, King James, or the Quran, or Buddhism, or Catholicism. I'm trying to tell your motherfucking ass the truth. If you take an apple seed and you plant it in the ground where the ground is good and the weather's right, your ass gonna get apples. You can't get oranges. And if it wasn't for the fruits, vegetables, minerals, vitamins, and oxygen, you wouldn't even be here listening to my ass. So if you understand that if you plant an apple seed on good ground, where the ground is good and the weather's right, you get apples. Understand that your words and your deeds, they are your seeds. The hearts of people is the different ground. What's in their heads is the weather. But you gotta know what you want to grow in your life. You can't yell at a motherfucking cactus that you brought in and it stuck you. That's a goddamn cactus. Don't be stupid. Don't be yelling at people because of what they do. Be mad at yourself and learn from what you did do is allow them in your yard. We're talking about great people here. People who are dead. People who don't live anymore, but they yet live. You never met these people. You don't know Harriet Tubman. You don't even know Malcolm X. You know him, of him, but you never shook his hand. You never looked in his face. But he yet lives, even though he's dead. And that, to me, is the only thing that I can consider to be eternal life. Now, hey, they say there's streets of gold and pearly gates and all that bullshit. Well, I ain't saying it ain't, but I don't know no motherfucker went up there and saw them pearly gates and come back and say, damn, Jay, you gotta look at these motherfucking pearly gates and shit. And these streets of gold. Fuck it. I don't know that, but I do know about MC Bailey. I do know about the black people of that who have created something, and Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman and Woodrow Wilson and all these people who have contributed. Now they're dead, but yet they live. Now let's have common sense about that. All that bullshit about you can get your glory when you get to heaven, you get your riches when you get to heaven, that's a bunch of bullshit. They told you that shit while they was bringing your ass over here on a goddamn ship and you rolling in the bottom of the motherfucking ship and they having church on the motherfucking deck on Sunday. They brainwashing your ass because you a slave. You're less than a man. They said that you were 20%, 80%, I don't know, whatever percent man. Come on, man. Think about Kemet. Learn something about your history. Look, Google Kemet. It's in Africa. Google that. Learn something about who you are. Learn something about your ancestry. So you can stand proud. So you can stop with all this bullshit. Pull your goddamn pants up. And realize a man does not wear a motherfucking miniskirt. That's what it looked like, a upside motherfucking down miniskirt. Don't be a bitch. Act like a man. Be a man. Treat your queen like a queen and be a king. You can't do that unless you know your ancestries, unless you know who you are, unless you know where you came from. Otherwise, you chasing shit. You gonna chase shit the rest of your motherfucking life. If your ass is lucky enough to live past 16, 17, 18, 25. Lucky. Shit, when I was a kid, we played hit the top. Spin the motherfucking bottom. Chase a girl, kiss a girl. Wasn't nobody shooting nobody, and if they did, they came and got who they wanted to get. They didn't shoot innocent kids. They didn't shoot older people. They had respect for older people. And we had a problem back then. We knuckled up. Fisticuffs. We fought. And there were men around us, wouldn't let nobody leave until we got through fighting. And after that, we scratched the rolls off the bottle. Now, y'all don't know nothing about that. We drank a bottle of riches together. Because that's what it was. Every man has some testosterone. You got to get rid of it some kind of way. You got feelings, you got to get rid of them motherfuckers some kind of way. But if you don't know where to put them at, you're going to get fucked. You're going to end up in jail. You're going to end up doing something you regret. And if you don't learn from that, it's going to happen again and again and again and again and a motherfucking again. So you can't blame no motherfucker. Not your mama, daddy, not what happened to your ass. You got a choice. After what happened to your ass, during what happened to your ass, you got a choice. Think about those people over in Sudan. Those people over in Cairo. Those people over there who are fighting for their lives just to get out of the country. Your ass is so-called free and you're still in prison. You ain't got no chains on your arms. They're on your motherfucking brain. Think about your history. Learn about who you are. Be clear about why you here. That make my job a whole lot easier, because then we can live in peace and joy. Because after you get all the shit you want, you ain't got no peace and joy. You ain't got a goddamn thing that's worth anything. Because everything else gonna pass the fuck away. Praise the Lord. So I'm gonna give you one more. And then I'm gonna let it go, alright? Here's one that's gonna blow you away. F.M. Jones created the air conditioning. That's right, a black man. The air conditioning, a resource with which we use every summer when it get too hot. You want to get in that air. You never think about a black man created. You think about the car you in and you just enjoying air. If you knew that a black man had the ingenuity, the intuitiveness, and the understanding and the cleverness to create something like that, you'd look at yourself differently when you ever look in the mirror. I'm going to talk later about some of these other things, but I don't really need to tell you very much more about what we've done. Hell, the first Statue of Liberty was a black woman. Oh yeah, you didn't know that either, did you? Everything, even today, is taken from us. Our intellectual properties, the way we wear our clothes, the way our music, the way we dress. They say they hate you, but they sticking shit in their ass to make their ass bigger to look like yours. They sticking shit in their lips to have big lips like yours. They're braiding their hair and they're getting in the sun till they got down there burn. Be smart. They don't hate you, they love you. Love them back. Do that shit with intelligence, understanding, wisdom, and knowledge. You gotta have purpose, legacy, and direction to be clear about all that other shit. I'm the Reverend Point Blank. So, read my lips. Why would you do anything in this world with anyone in this world about anything in this world unless you have some perspective, some knowledge about who you are? It does not make any bit of sense to do anything without having a knowledge of who you are, where you're going, and why you are on this planet. So understand this. Your words and your deeds, they are your seeds. The hearts of people is the various grounds, and what's in their heads is the weather. But you must know what you want to grow in your life. You cannot yell at a tree that you allowed to grow in your life because you allowed it in there. It was a cactus. When you brought it in, it stuck you. Don't be angry. Spend some time with yourself. Get to know who you are, where you're going, and why you're on the planet, so you know why you messing with a person, why you getting a job, why you doing anything you're doing. Have a legacy, a reason for living. Otherwise, you're always chasing shit. And shit just passes away. I'm the Reverend. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Explain to them what you mean. You're going to talk to them about things that are representative of today in this world right now and how it's going to affect them tomorrow.
French, British, Italian, Japanese television. People everywhere are starting to listen to me. It's embarrassing.
That's right.
But look, that's honest, right? No, isn't that honest? Most relationships with people, they don't tell the truth. Now, you saw the woman over there, big titties, big ass, nice pretty face, and you want to go and talk about how are you? What's your name? What school did you go to? I was wondering if we could have dinner. Bitch, I don't want to go to dinner, I want some of that ass.
I can't get my nails did. I can't get my toes did. You see this? You see this? Look at this. Look at that. You see my feet?
You know, women, they real serious about their shit, nigga. We don't think about the little things, like leaving little notes around the house. I love you. Meet me in the bedroom. You know, bringing presents on Monday. When she said, what's this for? Bitch, it's Monday.
You trying to cover yourself now, but you look out the house with this motherfucking cleavage. You got some, you got an A. You got a mouthful of shit. You motherfuckers think God don't know y'all? Some of you motherfuckers is some freaky ass motherfuckers. I mean some shit that God wouldn't even think about.
Church ain't no organization, it's not no religion, it's about real people who do real things.
Everyone in the world is going to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss.
Because as you know, many of the people that are in church, they are not the same when they are at home. So they change, they transform when they get in the building.
It's amazing. Wherever that abides in the human being, there is the nobleness of the human spirit.
What is your real name?
Listen, these things is hypocrisy. It happens all the time. Now, I'm not saying that it's Christianity or it's Buddhism or it's Catholicism. All of the religions do it.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise.
We're talking about relationship, politics, we'll be talking about religion. I mean, we'll be talking about all kinds of things from a true perspective.
Does my sassiness upset you?
Explain how you know how I feel.
Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room.
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel.
Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high.
Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel.
Still I rise. Did you want to see me broken?
It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
Bowed head and lowered eyes.
It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn.
Shoulders falling down like teardrops.
Life for me.
Weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh, does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs?
And I'm feeling good.